Okay, another video from the Angry Photographer. I've almost made this video, and it's almost kind of split up into various places, but I've never made it succinctly like this before, and everybody keeps asking me this question, so the video has to be made, obviously. Talking about tele-zooms. Which of the three do you recommend, and why, and how can we differentiate out the three? The fourth one I don't have here because optically I don't like her. That is the 70-200. Vibration reduction. Nikon is not present here. That lens is $2,400 and there's nothing in the world special about her. The 70-200 VC Tamron is optically a bit superior and is a lot faster in autofocus. She's awesome. She beats out the $2,400 Nikon. The $2,400 Nikon 70-200. The Tamron here is $1,500. She has a vibration control. She's a 70-200. Awesome. One of basically 2 or 3 zoom off-brand lenses that I recommend. It's not like, well, you're just a Nikon whore, and that's why you ain't recommending that non-Nikon. No, that's not the reason. Tamron, Sigma, and Nikon. Unless it's a prime lens, they have autofocus issues, they have distortion issues, chromatic aberration. I mean, they've just got issues. They're just not worth buying. There are a very few exceptions. The prime lenses, there are quite a few exceptions, and I love some of the off-brand prime lenses, like the Sigma Art series, the Nikon 100mm, 2.8 macro, and some others. Fine. Doesn't take rocket science to make a nice prime. At least not anymore, it doesn't. So, what are we talking about here? $1,500, $1,200 current production, $700, $600 new. This is the 70-300 VR 4556 GED. Make sure it is the VR version. Note: do not get the 70-300 Nikon on eBay unless you see that. Why? It's not because it just has vibration reduction, it's because it's a superior lens and has vibration reduction. Okay? Got it. Now I can find these minty perfect as new condition, $300 all day long. Do not buy a new one, buy a used minty one, because typically these see very little use. When people have these, they don't use them much, and you can usually find them used in awesome condition. So never buy a new one. Never! This lens in various forms has been around forever. This is still a current production lens. This is the 80-200 AF Nikon ED. Incredible lens. It's built like a fucking tank, and it is heavy as a tank. I mean, she is just a fucking beast. Which of these lenses is the sharpest here? Which of them? The Nikon is sharper than the Tamron. The Tamron has more glass in her, okay, than a hen house has eggs. She is just loaded with glass. It's not to say it's not an awesome lens. Everybody loves it. I love it. I own it for a reason. But the 80-200 is sharper, has less distortion, has better depth and color saturation than the Nikon does. You can find these used all day long, $500-$600. Used, awesome. Great idea is to buy one from Japan because the Japanese are anal. Anal about taking care of their lenses. And shipping is really quick from Japan. So $500-$600 new, still current production lens. They've been making this lens for a long time. And the reason for that, it is just fucking awesome. It is that good. They both have tripod mounts, both the Tamron and the Nikon, okay? And they both will rotate around the lens depending on whether you want vertical orientation or landscape, right? Got it. So, $1,200 new, $500-$600 used. Japanese take better care of their lenses than do the lazy fat Americans. Just a fact, okay? Now, if you're going to do sports photography, action shots, horses, race cars, blah, 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 motorbikes, whatever, obviously, the only logical choice you have here on either one of these two lenses on fast, fat glass telephotos is a Tamron. That's it. If you're shooting the action, you need the vibration reduction, and you need that super fast autofocus. Not to say the autofocus isn't perfectly fine on this. It is, but it is not as fast, not as quiet for sure, and is definitely not as fast as the Tamron. The Tamron is right there. The 70-300 VRED. $300 used. It's damn fast and it's damn quiet. Don't let this huge lens, like, oh, that's not a very expensive lens, can't be that very. It's awesome. I got 2 of these. They're just fucking incredible. And these heavy whores are a pain in the crotch to pack around, alright? You can go to sports, shooting event, basketball, whatever you're going to be taking. It's going to be running, jumping, racing around in track. Fine. You need the Tamron. Not just for vibration control, but also for its speed in autofocus, okay? Everybody loves it. It's an incredible lens. It does flatten things out. I do not like... It's perfectly fine and adequate, but the color rendition and the depth is superior due to a lot less glass elements on the Nikon than on the Tamron. This has just got a fuckload of glass in it. Just a fuckload. So, $300 used all day long. $500-$600 used all day long. Really can't find these used because nobody gets rid of them. That tells you something. You can't find something used, that means it's either no good or everybody that has one ain't getting rid of it. That makes sense, Jenny. It's been a long day. So, $300, $500-$600 used, $1,500 new. You be shooting, running, jumping, moving shit. Shit on 4 wheels, 2 wheels, moving fast, horses, blah, blah, blah. Get the Tamron. If you don't need that, you need a fast wildlife lens. Better depth, better color saturation, superior lens, and my god, it could be had cheap. $500-$600. Order one from Japan. You'll be so happy with it. This bitch is built like a fucking tank to last multiple life. I mean, she is just a bitch in the good sense. Kind of like, you know, hey, that bitch is fine. Not the not the bad sort of bitch, but the good sort of bitch. So anyway, I digress. Obviously. You flap your lips too much. I wish you'd get to the point and shut the fuck up. Alright, I'm getting to it. I'm almost done, right? So, those are your 3 choices. Now, you're going to weigh what you plan on doing, and you're going to make a logical decision. So I'm trying to save you money so that you're not pissing money away unnecessarily. You buy this lens, you're going to be shooting mostly fast shit like cars or horses or what the fuck. And you go, well, he recommended this lens when I should have got this lens. No, I've stated it. So I've laid out the principles, I've laid out the positives and the negatives of all 3 of these lenses. This lens actually has no negatives. Even if you buy one of these 2, you should still buy this. So one of these 2, or possibly both, but one of these 2 and this one. Because this is not a gigantic fat bitch for hauling around, okay? For travel, I mean, she's not that big, she's not that heavy. She's great, super fast focus, very sharp, it's awesome. There's not a bad thing in the world you could say about it. Okay, did I make that very clear? Because a lot of people ask me about fat glass tellies, and that's it. Sports action, got tons of glass, color saturation and depth isn't as great, built like a fucking tank, cheap as hell, better color saturation and depth, autofocus isn't as fast, not to say that it's not perfectly fine. Also great if you have an older film camera, because she actually does have an aperture ring on the back that you can adjust. Hooray! That makes sense, Jenny. I understand now. Everything is clear. Life is like a box of lenses. I know which one to use on my Nikon now, Jenny. That's alright, so. Okay, Forrest, now that you got all the information, then run! Get the right lens so you're not wasting your money. not wasting your money on the wrong lens. And this is another video from the Angry Photographer, because my goal is to get you the facts without bullshit and without corporate sponsorship, so that you don't piss your money away unnecessarily. Although I might flap my lips sometimes a bit too much. Whatever. Everybody has their faults, alright? Great. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you can drop me a buck or 2 to tell me to go screw myself or go jump in the Grand Canyon. Whatever turns you on. Late last night, somebody actually sent me an email. He says, why are you recommending all those cheap lenses? Man, there are still people out there that confuse cheap lenses, i.e. quality, with cheap lenses, price. Okay? There are too many people out there that live with a religion that money buys quality. You get what you pay for. Well, often that is the case. But I'm here to tell you and point out those fucking exceptions. And apparently that is my mission on these videos. And apparently I've done a good job of it because you've all been very happy. Thanks for the positive recommendations and all the good stuff and everything. You all have been great, and got a lot more videos to make, including a few more after this one. I need to grab some more caffeine. Where's that coffee at, damn it? Where's that coffee at?